Top of the third on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Good crowd here once again at the Plex. This rubber game between the Cowgirls and the Knights. 1-0 lead for UCF. It'll be Megan Delgadillo to lead it off for Oklahoma State, followed by Megan Bloodworth and Talon Edwards. 8-9-1 against Yesenia Lopez. This beautiful Saturday afternoon. Teams on this Easter weekend will be off tomorrow. Both teams will have a midweek on Wednesday. UCF will be at Stetson in DeLand, a game you can watch on ESPN Plus. And Oklahoma State will be hosting Texas on the midweek. Of course, UCF next weekend, believe it or not, Alex, final home series of the season. Time flies, Alex. I feel like you and I just got hung out like opening day, call it a tournament. Next weekend, final regular season home series for the Knights as they host the Houston Cougars on senior weekend. You said it off the air earlier. Well, how many games you've called this year?
It'll be after next weekend. I'll have called 53 games. Pretty insane.
I think I want to say I was around in the 40s with you as pitches fouled off by Delgadillo. Probably around 45. Of course, big game here at the Plex, rubber game. Rubber game going on at baseball. UCF won last night against top 25 ranked TCU. They're 2-2 in the top of the third on that one at John Guiano Park. Keep you updated on that. 0-2. It's outside for a ball. 1-2 to count. Another great crowd. Again, a lot of people hanging out in the left field lounge from left field to right field. It was super packed last night, and it's packed again here. 1-2 missed there, 2-2 to count. What's impressive here is it's a noon Eastern start time here in Orlando. Tends to get a little hot, Alex, but you can't miss out on good softball in person.
You definitely can't. Everybody wanting a piece of the pie, knowing that the season is coming to a close here soon. Got to get it while you can.
Count is full here. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Megan Delgadillo, the transfer from Cal State Fullerton. Won the Big West Player of the Year back in 2022. Payoff pitch, gets jammed, pops it up. Humphreys makes the catch for the first out. Big pitch there by Lopez, who jams Delgadillo there to get the first out.
Now batting number 55, Megan
One
Bloodworth.
gone. Now we got Megan Bloodworth, senior, hitting .330 on the year with 8 home runs, 25 RBI. It's not every day you have a number 9 hitter that has 8 home runs on the year at this point. Shows the power that this Cowgirl offense has. Takes a strike, and I think Kenny Gajewski, he spoke earlier this week, feels that the offense is coming back. Felt that in the Wichita State win earlier this week, it was the best they have swung the bats in weeks. And he feels like they've get those tough outs. And it's interesting he mentioned that, basically paraphrasing that, because that's something that Coach Paul Malone has been talking about. I've seen her offense have more tough outs. And we've seen that from both of these offenses now in this series.
Well, that's what you want. That's where we talk so much about you don't want to become concerned with the outcome because it's so out of your control, but what you can do is become so immersed in the process. And am I hitting good pitches? Am I barreling stuff up, hitting them hard? It's not whether or not I'm getting on base, but again, control the controllables. It's the key to life. I feel like the older we get, Eric, the more we see that. Same goes on the softball field.
Ball and 2 strikes, the count. It's upstairs, 2-2. Lopez getting the start. This true freshman on this Saturday afternoon. 2-2 pitch. Bloodworth pops it up. Foul territory. Humphreys call it off. Damon makes the catch. Nice play by Humphreys. 2 outs here in the third as Bloodworth fouls out. Good communication there by the Knights there with Damon and Humphreys.
Good communication. That's something that we've seen kind of be in question the last couple of months is priority and the loudness of that communication on fly balls specifically, but like the adjustments, and that's what UCF has done a great job of, in my opinion, Eric, is make the adjustments, have the conversations, and talk about areas that we can get better.
Talon Edwards at the plate. Ahead of the count 1-0. Takes a strike, and the count is 1-1.
What a difference so far, too, for Justinian Lopez. Only in the third inning here today, just through 2 2/3. But you look at her numbers on Thursday night and what she did in that game. One, just about over 3 innings of work, but a lot of free passes, a couple of hits, just earning their way on base in different ways, coming back to haunt Lopez. So has done a great job making that adjustment and figuring it out.
Coach Paul Malone's going to make a defensive change here. Madison Simon's going to come into the ball game. Samantha Ray, it looks like, is going to move to the outfield with Coco Jaimez at second base. Both of these head coaches have made moves defensively all weekend. Last night, Alex, there was a stretch where, based depending on who the hitter was, Kenny Gajewski was moving Warsop and Lexi McDonald going back and forth between left and right field. I've never seen that before, but it was based on who the hitter was. Was there a lefty hitter, righty hitter, also because of the pitching changes. Both of these staffs believe in defense, and they're going to put them, and they don't want to skip a step. 1-1 is fouled off, so you've got Simon at center, Jaimez at second base, Ray at left. In fact, Ray started this inning at center field. They've moved her to left. Kopselnik comes out for now. The 1-2 pitch. That's upstairs, 2-2. But I had never seen that before last night, where literally Lexi McDonald and Warsop, on each at-bat, following hitter, they would switch depending on who the hitter was.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that, just playing for the best stuff of the pitcher, really.
That's popped up. Aubrey Evans calling off everyone, makes the catch to end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Lopez. We head to the bottom of the third, Knights up 1.
Student Athlete Advisory Committee got involved with back in 2015. Now, this softball team didn't get these jerseys until 2018 for their inaugural Nike N7 field day at Cowgirl Stadium. You'll see that N7 patch on the right-hand sleeve of their jerseys, but it's a reminder of where they came from and what they've built this university and this state on.
Thank you, Hannah. Stormy Kopselnik here to lead off the third inning. Count of 1-1. Reminds me a lot of Florida State men's basketball. Has similar jersey colors, and they wear.
All Florida State athletics.
So is it all? Okay.
Yep.
Kopselnik lines a base hit into right center, into the gap. Cut off by Mel Delgadillo. Nice play by her. But it's a leadoff single for Kopselnik here to open the ninth third inning.
The adjustments continue here right now for UCF. Kopselnik takes that pitch over the zone, but a little bit higher than the typical drop ball offered by Malin there. So good job by Kopselnik, dropping barrels, hitting something over the white, driving it to the big part of the park. But yeah, Eric, all Florida State also has started to incorporate a lot of the turquoise color too, kind of supporting the Seminole tribe out of Florida. So very similar stuff. Love to see the history being brought into these universities and the partnerships extended. Really cool stuff.
No doubt. One of the reasons why the Knights go with the Citrus Space U jersey to honor the space program. Nearby here at the Kennedy Space Center. Damon with a bunt. Edwards with a great play. That was a good bunt by Damon, but a better play by Edwards. But it goes down as a sacrifice bunt as Damon does it help advance Kopselnik into second.
Good job on the situational execution there. Beth Damon just sacrificed bunt opportunity, but not badly placed. Edwards coming across, doing the little throw in the run action. Good job of the under control defensive play from Edwards, but good execution from Damon.
Now Ashley Griffin to the plate. takes ball 1-0 the count. Kotzelnick at second base. Pitch to strike, 1-1. So 1-1 the count now to Griffin. One pitch. Griffin slices one into right, but it'll stay fair. A catch is made as Kotzelnick has to hold on the Lexi McDonald catch, and Griffin is retired for the second out here in the third. Runner at second, 2 outs for Izzy Mertez. Will step in. Struck out against Malin in her first at-bat.
You see your infield right there. Everybody kind of shifted back a little bit with 2 outs. Knows that they just have to take care of business. Routine ground ball right now. Now the last play, or the last batter, for instance, you had your corners playing in a little bit more, given the situation at that point. So just kind of changing pitch to pitch, batter from batter. Good adjustments, again, on both sides of the field.
1 is a strike, 0-2. Also noticing Delgadillo shying a little bit more towards right center, slightly, over the last couple of night hitters. So there's a kind of a gap there and big in left center. Daring her to hit it there. The 0-2 from Malin. Just missed ball 1. Loves a chess match between both sides. For Stacy Pastrak, the assistant for UCF, was a longtime assistant at Oklahoma State under Kenny Gajewski. As Mertez hits one into left, and a diving catch is made by Warsack. Tia Warsack with a great catch to end the inning. Knights with a 1-0 lead. We head to the top of the fourth. We hope to hear from Kenny. Team,
Okay.
They're part of realignment this year. And when you think of college softball, this program comes up pretty quickly.
UCLA.
There you go.
Okay.
See, I gave it to you.
Thanks, yeah.
0-1 as Godwin fouls it back. 0-2. But the point is, it just shows you what he has done. And to the point where, you know, people are like kind of grumbling, like, oh, what's wrong with Oklahoma State? Even though they're like top 25 ranked, they're 18 in the RPI. But that's the standards now that have been raised since Kenny Gajewski's arrival. 2. Swing. Ooh, just got a piece there. Godwin stayed alive. Of course, this is the 50th season of Oklahoma State softball. When you think Oklahoma State softball, the first name you come up with is Michelle Smith. It's great. But prior to Kenny Gajewski's arrival, it had been hard times at Oklahoma State. He has brought it to a high level. Swing and a miss. Lopez gets Godwin to strike out. And a big strikeout for the true freshman, Lopez, her 5th of the game.
Huge pitch for Lopez. Again, just big situation here. Runner on second base, only 1 out. You know that Godwin's got a job to do, but Lopez responding masterfully. Still showing us that great command.
So 2 outs now for Michaela Work. Takes a strike, 0-1 to count.
Eric, you mentioned just sometimes people, fans across the country asking questions of, oh, they're not, doing what they've been doing, what's going on? But I watched a really good video the other day just about when you start putting out there and manifesting success and being the best, being at the top at whatever your craft is, whether in business, in life, in sports, you open yourself up to so much criticism, and just knowing that, hey, criticism and people talking about you in that way or judging what you're doing and why you're not reaching that isn't a bad thing, because it means obviously you're doing something that creates and demands a lot of expectation, which means you're doing it right, you're doing it well.
Ball and 2 strikes here to Michaela Work. Runner at second, 2 outs. What 2? Inside, 2-2. The count to Work. Junior, here at a big spot. Well, even here at UCF, the bar has been raised so much that sometimes people have been wondering what's going on. And they've had some of the struggle, but that's a compliment almost when your program has reached so many certain standards. Same here at UCF with Coach Paul Malone. They're trying to make a 5th straight NCAA tournament appearance. Have more top 25 wins than any UCF team has had in program history. Think about that. They've had some good teams. Payoff pitch from Lopez. Line. Oh, what a catch by Humphreys. Makes the catch to end the inning. Both teams showing some leather today. An incredible play by Humphreys.
And Sierra Humphreys showing us just how many moves she's got. That one down the line. Nice little grab up in the air. Good stuff. Athleticism. Sierra Humphreys.
Maddie Simon, 7'8", 9. Warsaw moves from left to right field with Graff in the game in left field for Oklahoma State, taking over for McDonald, at least for now. Count is 0-1 here to Ray. What pitch? Ray slices it foul. Finetti, 0-2 to count. Tight rubber game here for both sides. Go-to pitch. Takes outside, ball 1. What have you seen from Ruby so far here through the first 3+ innings?
Well, Ruby's fantastic, and I think that UCF just did a good job capitalizing on an opportunity, and there's not been many to capitalize on, and so that's just talking about the dominance right there. You see, that's a big strikeout from Ruby Malin, but that's what Coach Paul Malone said as well, though, complimenting her is, hey, we know she's good. We're gonna strike out. We've just got to keep fighting.
6th strikeout of the ball game for Malin. 1 out. Madison Simon down to hit. Swings the pitch, fouls it off. Godwin makes the catch near the on-deck circle. Excuse me, there by the coach's box, I should say. And the foul on Jaimez now to hit the 9th spot. We'll hit here with no one on, 2 outs at the bottom of the 4th. Jaimez, the freshman, to step in here with no one on, 2 out against Baylor. Pitch to Jaimez. Away, ball 1. 1-0 the count. It's been interesting to see both teams making adjustments defensively, especially in the outfield. Not taking anything for granted. A little bit delay here. Ruby Malin looks like it's a wrist drink of water. Yep, that's what it is. It is hot here, Alex.
It's definitely hot. Just trying to stay prepared, I think, is the hardest part, because that right there is not a sign of, you know, anything she needs to do different right now. It's kind of everything leading up to this, when our bodies start to have those kind of responses, but just staying tough, keep going. But also good awareness and maturity too. Obviously somebody that's a little bit older in her career, has been around a time or two, knows what she needs.
Two balls, no strikes to Jaimez with 2 outs here in the 4th. 2-0 pitch. 2-1. So you got a lot of the alums and family members out in the outfield. One of the messages they sent out is a happy birthday to Melanie. 2-1 pitch. That was one of the topics that was brought up in the outfield lounge. The other one was a rather controversial one, Alex, that you started it, that people want your input on, which is, you know, pooch picks. The claim by some in the outfield lounge, I'm not going to call names, say that cats are also pooches. Your response?
Ooh. I mean, I'm here for it. Whatever. We can. An animal's an animal. At the end of the day, if it has fur, it's probably one of my friends. So I'm good with it.
You're good with it.
I'm
Oh,
good
wow.
with it. I mean, I'm not a cat girl myself, meaning like I don't have a four-legged cat at home, but it's all good.
It's a very divided topic there in the lounge. I got uncomfortable. I had to go into the stands, you know, avoid that.
I'm a fan of animal lovers, so whatever it is, hey, to each their own.
2-2 pitch. Jaime slaps it to left. Right to Graff, who came in this inning, making the catch to retire the side. We're through 4 here in Orlando. Knights is inside for the ball. 1-0 the count. One-0 pitch to McDonald. It's outside. 2-0. There is action in the Knights bullpen starting up. Count is 2-0. And that is called a ball, and it's 3-0. So Lopez down in the count 3-0 here to Lexi McDonald. There you see Caitlin Felton warming up. 3-0 pitch. Strike, and it's 3-1. Xenia Lopez, the true freshman, part of the Puerto Rican national team in 2023. The Pan American Games in Chile. 3-1 missed. Outside, ball 4 to leadoff walk to McDonald here in the 5th. McDonald gets on. She's going to get pinch run for here. Cowgirls here. See what they do now with Warsop. Probably was one of their better bunters on the team.
At first base for OSU, number 1, Rachel Hathoot.
You got Rachel Hathoot to pinch run at first base to transfer from New Mexico. Knights expecting the bunt here. It's Warsop. Missed outside though. There's 1-0 the count. Got to be careful though if you're the Knights. You don't want to get too cute here. A tough situation here with Warsop trying to sacrifice. 1-0 from Lopez. And again, Warsop takes, and it's 2-0.
Right now, Lopez just looking to attack the zone. Coach Bob Malone gonna call timeout. Just take a second.
Might make a move now. Mentioned Felton was warming up earlier. She's definitely gonna look like maybe they're make a move unless she was double checked, but she looks at the bullpen here. That could be it for Lopez, who walked. Yep, and it is. It's going to be a pitching change. So we'll tell you about the new Knights. New pitcher for the Knights, junior Caitlin Cochran coming in relief here in the top of the 5th.
Cochran getting the ball today has worked a lot on the mental game and coming in these high pressure situations, trying to just rein it back in, keep the situation under control. But I think it's going to be her off speed so far this afternoon, Eric, that's going to be most different than Lopez, who came in as that more high velo kind of pitcher. Just looking to come in here and keep the Cowgirl hitters off balance with something a little bit slower.
Well, I mentioned earlier today was Melanie's birthday. Melanie is Caitlin Cochran's mom. So happy birthday. Caitlin pitching in relief. In a big spot here. Runner at first and inherits a 2-0 count from Tia Warsop. I think Coach Bowen can sense there maybe Lopez getting a little tired. Remember, she pitched 3+ innings in relief on Thursday. The 2-0 by Warsop does the bunt. It's foul. It's 2-1. The bullpen is still up and running for the Knights. This might be a matchup by matchup situation the rest of the way here. This kind of felt like a by committee day. Knights not at full strength from that standpoint.
And Malvin
got enough they fill arms with. 2-1. The count. There's the butt by Warsop. It's a good one. Griffin will throw to first in time. Get to Jaime's covering at first, but a nice job by Tia Warsop to get the bunt down. Advancing the runner half hoop to second with 1 out. So now runner at second for Megan Delgadillo.
Number 37, Megan Delgadillo.
Delgadillo to hit.
Say that one 3 times fast.
Well, sure does. Fullerton transfer. Takes one up and in, ball 1. It's probably why most of the players and their coaches call her by her nickname. Which we'll tell you here after this pitch here, possibly. The 1-0 pitch. Is ball 2. Hannah, if you hear me there, what is Megan Delgadillo's nickname?
Is it cheese?
It is cheese. That is correct.
It's like Jeopardy.
There you go. Because she smiles all the time. That's why they call it nickname cheese.
Good job, Hannah.
Thank you.
2-0 pitches to strike.
Put her on the spot, Eric. Man,
Well, I miss Hannah. I haven't seen Hannah in forever, you know?
good thing she's ready. Don't gotta get ready if you stay ready. You hear me?
Walked into the booth and I saw her. I'm like, hey, where have you been? 2 balls and a strike to count. That's Miss Lowe, 3-1. Haven't seen you in weeks, Alex. I mean, yeah. Appreciating the company that I share.
The gang's back together.
Cochran here down in the count, 3-1. Do have an open base here. They get 1 out here in the 5th inning. Elkins, one of the night's pitchers in warming up. Looks like Macy Miles, too, who pitched in the Thursday night game. That's a little bit outside, ball 4, and Megan draws a walk. It's 2 on, 1 out. 2 walks in the inning for the Knights. As you mentioned in the open, the free passes has been a key storyline on both sides in this series. It hurt UCF on Thursday night. It certainly hurt Oklahoma State last night.
When the team doesn't have to earn their way on base with a hit, it definitely helps their cause. They're trying to push some runs across the board. So every out, every pitch is super important.
Ball hit to third. Backhand by Humphreys, but they're going to call it foul. Oh, a foul ball. A break for the Cowgirls because Humphreys had a shot to get a double play. Let's see if this was the right call, being a foul ball.
Definitely a close one. Sierra Humphreys does such a good job playing a solid third base. I do agree that she was able to keep her body mostly in fair territory, but the ball was over the line.
Good angle there. Humphreys wanted that badly.
Absolutely, but that's what you're trying to feed your defense for, is something like that. Something hard to the pull side with a double play opportunity on the line. You'll take it.
So 0-1 the count to Bloodworth. It's in the dirt, ball 1, 1-1 the count. One pitch. Bloodworth pops it up. Shallow left. Aubrey Evans coming over from short to make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. 2nd out of the inning, 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And the Knights still in this jam, but a big out for Cochran. So top of the order now, Talon Edwards will come to the plate with 2 on, 2 out.
Big pitch for Caitlin Cochran there, getting the big out. Aubrey Evans doing a good job, just a lot of range that she's able to cover.
First pitch. Off-speed changeup. That's the pitch that Cochran, when she hits that, is. Oh, anyway, we saw her last year when she broke out. That was the pitch. Hasn't been as consistent with it this year to this point. 0-1 pitch. It's outside, ball 1. Humphreys comes over to talk to Cochran here. With a ball and a strike to count. 2 on, 2 out here in the 5th. One. That's low. Good block there by Damon. It's 2-1. Of course, Caitlin Felton went the distance last night, threw a lot of pitches last night. You just wonder how much does she have, if any, available. That's what I mean by Knights may not be at full strength for their pitching staff today that they normally would. A little short-handed. 2-1. Edwards flies to center, but playable. Catch is made by Simon, side retired. Cochran gets out of the jam. And keeps the Knights lead at 1 as we head to the far. She's the difference in this game, Alex.
Well, and you never know when your number's going to be called, and this one in the 2nd inning has been the biggest so far for UCF and Oklahoma State today. Not a whole lot of action in a game that's really been dominant in the circle there. So Aubrey Evans getting the opportunity, getting the job done, but Samantha Ray on the base path was lights out.
Yeah, Ray scored all the way from first with 2 outs on that 2-out RBI single by Aubrey Evans, and that was in the 2nd. That's the difference in the ball game. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for UCF. No runs, no hits, no errors for Oklahoma State. B. Malin still out there for the Cowgirls. Delivers first pitch ball to Aubrey, who has walked and singled against Malin today in this rubber game of this 3-game series. Huge game from a conference standings, from a resume standpoint, hosting possibilities. I mean, this is fun, right? This is as a player, right? This is why you come at this level. You want to play in big games like this.
Absolutely. You want to play in the big moments, get the opportunity to play on the biggest stages against the best teams. That's what you work hard for.
Evans swings and misses there to count as 2-1. And these are valuable innings, pitches, I think, for a team like UCF, which has a lot of freshmen, haven't seen this at this level, right? This could pay off for them come May, be in series like this. As Evans swings and hits it foul down the right side, out of the reach of the Cowgirls defenders. 2-2 the count. Of course, these are 2 teams that aren't shy of playing people. UCF with the 8th toughest non-conference schedule in the country, 12th overall coming into this weekend. They are on track to shatter the program record for the toughest schedule in the history of this program. Evans pops it up. Bloodworth makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Oklahoma State has the 4th toughest non-conference schedule in the country. They're also in the top 12, top 13, I think top 10 actually, in overall schedule strength. So these 2 staffs like to play people. Of course, Oklahoma State has only played a handful of home games this year. They've been on the road a lot. Humphreys, some of it not by their choosing. They lost 2 games to some wildfires in the Houston series a few weeks back. As Humphreys takes a strike, 0-1 the count. These 2 head coaches like to challenge their teams, and it feels it'll pay off as the year goes on. I think you've seen that in the past with these 2 programs.
I think that's part of it too. Some of the stuff I've learned now on this side of the field is when you're looking at scheduling and trying to build yourself a tough schedule, teams don't always want to travel to you because they're like, what, you want me to travel to you and you're going to try to beat me? Like, I don't know. So you got to kind of give and take a little bit. And so part of that for Coach Gajewski is probably, hey, we want to play you, but we'll come to you as well. We'll help you out, get you, whatever those opportunities are to sell tickets and concessions, whatever that is to help the program. But when you're a top dog like Oklahoma State has been for the last couple of years, you just got to kind of manage that.
2-1 pitch to Humphreys. Missed ball 3. An example of that, back in 2023, UCF in their final year as a member of the American Athletic Conference went to Stillwater to play in a tournament that hosted by Oklahoma State that also featured Arizona State, a 3-team tournament just to challenge themselves. And both of these programs have become frequent teams in the Clearwater Invitational second week of the year, which is one of the marquee tournaments of the regular season. Last year, remember, UCF played both at the Clearwater and at Mary Nutter. The payoff pitch. Humphreys drills one into center field. Back goes Delgadillo, makes the catch as she crashes against the wall and gives a fist pump. What a catch by Delgadillo for the second out here in the fifth. And there's that cheese smile right there.
I mean, what a good job by Sierra Humphreys. This has been the hardest hit ball so far of the day, but Delgadillo, look at how she's just going to keep going, full commitment there, approaching the warning track and absolutely no hesitation, going right into the fence. That's a great defensive play.
And she loved that. Now, Coach Bubble had a word with the umpires, and now the umpires are going to get together here and talk about something. I'm wondering is if it's to see if she cleanly caught the ball, would be my guess, maybe. To make sure she didn't trap the ball. It's the only thing I can think of against the wall, maybe. Unless, I'm not sure what else it would be, that the conversation. Whatever the conversation, it has to do with something with looks like they're looking at their lineups.
I was going to say, I don't feel like it's that. I think it could have to be with some kind of substitution.
Yes, that could be what it is, because Warsop re-entered the game in this inning in right field, but was she reported in? That's got to be what it is. I think you're right, Alex, because Warsop came in, re-entered to right field, would be my guess is what they're discussing. So we'll see. The umpires now talking to Kenny Gajewski.
Yeah, and Coach Gajewski is not happy.
No.
So I'm thinking it's something
That
like
is exactly what it is. Well, reported, he claims, and he is upset. So, yeah, he is saying that Warsop was in the game the whole time. But the reason that's significant is that gives Humphreys a new life. Yeah. So Coach Paul Malone catches Gajewski there, saying, I don't think he checked her back in. Now, Gajewski, those claim that she's been there and there the whole time. So now the umpires go back and they're huddling again. The question is, did Kenny, as a coach, you've got to report your players in, even if they're re-entering the game. If you pinch hit or pinch run, remember Hathout came in to pinch run in that last half inning. But I don't think it's Warsop that they're certainly talking about. She kind of had the sack bunt. Hathout came in, pinch ran for McDonald.
And that's what I'm looking at too, is who all was substituted for who, because Coach Gajewski there is not happy.
He is livid. He's got to be careful. He might get tossed here if he doesn't calm down, but he is livid. And I think if it's Warsop, I can understand. And there he is. He's been tossed. Kenny Gajewski has just been ejected in this game, and he's going to get his money's worth. Coach obviously is very upset, and if it's about Warsop, I can see why he would be upset. She has been in the whole game, but he is livid, and he is letting Shane Jackson hear about it. And he is still upset. It's being refrained here from the umpire. Chad Steers trying to stay in front here, but he is not happy at all, and I think he's probably not happy that Shane Jackson's not even looking at him. He's probably trying to talk to him. And you see he handed there the clipboard to Greg Bergeron. Well, and that would assume would be who would take over here. Or it could be Vanessa Shippey now, who's coming out. And look at Kenny right there walking out. He is livid. That is, and Kenny doesn't get that fired up, which coach tell, and Vanessa's Shippey's making her case about it's got to be about Warsack they're talking
well,
about.
Well, that's what
right?
I'm wondering, because the play didn't involve, at least to my knowledge, Delgadillo, who reported the out. And so that's my thing, Eric, is if the play doesn't involve the athlete that was not reported back in for the substitution, I'm not sure that the hitter gets another opportunity. Now, maybe their next at bat, that player is reported under an out on the offensive side, but
now Coach Paul Malone is talking to the home plate umpire, so this is kind of going a lot of different directions here. And so whatever has been said now, Alex, I think you may have brought up, let's see now Coach Paul Malone is upset.
I think that's yeah, I'm just not sure what.
Is it about perhaps whether Humphreys is allowed to hit back again or not? So this game's had a little bit of everything here. The only changes we saw is Wart maybe back to DP with Hadhu. And then you have Warsaw back at right field. But again, Kenny's argument was that she was in the game, and now whatever has been saying, now Coach Beaumont's not happy about something. So neither coach is happy. Meanwhile, Kenny Gajewski's out there watching in the bullpen, I believe. Is that the section there? Yeah. There you see Tia Warsaw. I don't know if she's in. To Kenny, if it's her, I think Kenny's got a point. She never left the game. There's Kenny, guys. He's by the outfield. He's by right field. That's a first for me. I don't think I've ever seen a head coach watch the rest of the game from the right field, but you can, obviously, now.
Well, the couple people that would even be involved in the play potentially between Delgadillo, Warsaw, anything like that, were not substituted.
Yeah, clearly there was something that wasn't substituted correctly, whether it was, could it have been half-hoop pinch running? I don't think that would be the case. Nonetheless, Humphreys is going to hit the count, so she will hit after all that. So it's a do-over. And Humphreys draws a walk. What a sequence there. Well, there'll be plenty to talk about after the game. Carrie Eberly now will come out, and I think part of this is to settle down Ruby Malin, who's had to sit through, kind of stand through all this. Look at guy, he is still living.
I think no matter what happens in the calls on the field, you just want the calls to be correct in the game. More than anything, if it doesn't go your way, sometimes fine, but if it's not the right call, that's really what brings out the elevated emotion and frustration for these coaches, and understandably so. I mean, we saw it a couple of weeks ago with Coach Walton on the game that Madison Shipman was calling and had to go back and kind of clarify, because no matter what the result is, you want the game to be played and called the proper way.
We have seen it a few occasions this year where I think umpires sometimes have to lose track of players that have re-entered games, players that have been reported. Sometimes they forget to write things down, Alex. I've seen that heard throughout the country. Wonder, you know, again, I don't know what happened here, but it is certainly.
Now batting with a runner on first, number 44, Stormy Potzelman.
Nonetheless, runner at first. Kopselnick swings and misses. And the count is 0-1. But the gist of it basically is Coach Bolo said Oklahoma State didn't make a proper substitution. Kenny Gajewski disagreed. That we know. That we could clearly know. Count is 1-1. And what it is now, we're getting word here. What it is Graf is in left field. They're claiming she didn't re-enter the game properly. Remember when she came in earlier in the game, that they didn't report her. Kenny Gajewski disagrees. So that apparently is Graf is the left fielder who they're talking about when she came into the game earlier, Alex. That's the word I've just got received. Appreciate the communication there. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Stormy Kotzelnick. But that's where the gist of it comes, is Graf, what she reported in, and that's where the disagreement takes place. Strike 3 looking, Kotzelnick not happy with the call there from the home plate umpire, Shane Jackson. She is upset. Felt that was outside, but it's a strikeout looking for Malin, and there's 2 outs here in the inning.
And Ruby Malin responding nicely. That pitch, that's a tough one, but again, in 2 strikes, man, you've just got to get your battle cap on and go to work, fight off that pitch. Stormy Kotzelnick wasn't happy with that call either, but that's where you just ask for consistency from the umpire, just trying to manage the emotions, the change, the elements, everything. There's a lot of passion and excitement in the game.
I'm wondering if she got a warning there or not, or did she? It was a warning towards Stormy Kotzelnick. So emotions going real high right now. Meanwhile, it's 1 on, 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th with Beth Damon at the plate. Damon will be talked to Coach Bumlin. Alex, you can't say you and I don't do boring games, do we?
No, never.
You see Ruby Malin.
Let's take another look at the strikeout here. You got Stormy Kotzelnick, sees the pitch, rides it in. Look how low in her legs that she gets, and then on the strike 3 call, turns around, has a full-blown conversation with the home plate umpire, speaking her disagreement with that pitch.
She got a warning for that. Damon takes outside for a ball 1. But it's kind of what I mentioned earlier. Last night, that call would have been called the ball, the way it was being called. Again, at different umpires, different strike zones, which is a whole other topic we don't even want to get into. The 1-0 to Damon. The strike, but I think that's where sometimes the frustration comes, right? As players, you want consistency throughout. Now, in fairness, today's been different, interesting, nonetheless. A ball and a strike to Damon. Swing and a miss. Malin, meanwhile, is dialing it up here. Trying to keep it a 1-run deficit here. One-two pitch. Damon fouls it off. So Kenny Gajewski again ejected, as apparently they said that Graf came in an inning ago defensively, was not entered properly. Kenny disagreed. He's watching it from right field, trying to see if Malin can get out of this inning, which she does. Strike 3, looking. And Ruby Malin, with back-to-back strikeouts, has 8 in the ballgame. Nice strand of runner. We are through subject here, and I think it's one of those things where clearly Gajewski and the umpires not on the same page there, just as far as whether she was entered properly or not, with all the switching going on when Graf came into the ballgame. Basically, I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version. And I've noticed that Vanessa Shippey is making sure that the umpires are linking the lineups there. So this has been wild, nonetheless. Meanwhile, interesting to see Lopez re-enter. She got pulled in the last half inning, and I think probably worked out. Now, what they're discussing here, the umpires, I think, are discussing right now is whether Kenny Gajewski, I'm guessing, is allowed to even stay in right field. I'm wondering if that is what it's going on here. Because I think this is going towards facilities, not sure. But while they figure all that out, Lopez comes back into the game, probably working on some mechanics, I would assume, there while they're changed. There's Kenny. I think they're also checking their lineups. The wind has picked up here at the Bucks. While they, I don't know what they're checking on, but they're certainly having some conversations. Been fun, but so Lopez, whenever we resume here, Lopez will start here. So coming back into the game, Alex, very interesting. Likely working to some mechanics, maybe get it a breather, because she was starting to lose control when she was pitching. When we saw her, and they brought in Cochran in the 5th inning.
I think it's good awareness, just giving her, like you said, a breather, giving her a minute to just kind of check herself and get herself back dialed in. She's been throwing a phenomenal game through the innings that she's been in the circle, and so I think wanting to give her the opportunity to keep that going, but just needed a reset. That's good management from Coach Paul Malone and staff, but also good job by Justine Lopez, just kind of rolling with the punches.
So she will come in the 6th inning. A 1-0 game. And a game that literally has had a little bit of everything. I wonder if they went to look for a rule book. There's another thing I wondered about. I mean, we've seen that happen a couple times this year. We saw that happen at Florida for that Arkansas-Florida game. There was about a half-hour delay because Tim Walton protested a dead ball call. And they went to a rule book, had to go to the NCAA. That was wild and bizarre. But, boy, oh boy. There'll be a lot of good questions we get to ask in the postgame. If only we had the in-game interviews now, Alex. This is when we need the in-game interviews, right? Although,
fire those things back on up. Let's go.
Not sure, though, that the coaches would be as honest with us if we did that now, in fairness.
These two coaches, I think they would be.
But
I'm here for it, too.
That's true.
I'm in
That's
full
very
support.
true. Greg Bergeron, by the way, is at third base taking over for Kenny Gajewski. What's interesting about that, Greg Bergeron started the year at the third base coach side. Only recently they flipped because Kenny Gajewski felt, quote, he was a fish out of water, and he felt he needed to be back at third base. He just didn't feel comfortable at first. He didn't feel comfortable in the dugout, so they switched. So Bergeron has experience at third base. You got Vanessa Shippey at first base. Rosie Davis is at the plate and is ahead of the count, 2-0. Against Lopez. Davis will be followed by Hasler and Godwin, 2, 3, 4. And now Lopez falling behind 3-0. Now the question is always with a young pitcher, when you take it out of the game, have a lengthy break, you're working on some things, but do you get your rhythm back? Knight's bullpen is still up and running. That's a strike, and it's 3-1. Three and 1 the count to Rosie Davis. Was an all Big 12 All Freshman performer a year ago. Takes a strike, and it's 3-2. I'll say this too for Kenny. He's obviously upset with what transpired, but I also think he's trying to light a fire on his team, too. Payoff pitch. And that's ball 4. You can sense the emotions have gone up for Oklahoma State since his ejection.
Well, and you have to appreciate how they've responded. Ruby Malin in the circle was lights out after everything kind of transpired. A couple of strikeout looking. And
Kenny, let's see here. Is he back in there? Yeah, Kenny Gajewski's back in the dugout. Probably to pick up some stuff. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's got to pick up his remaining stuff. So there you go. Meanwhile, walk, runner at first. With Hasler, takes ball there, and it's 1-0 the count. What else could happen here?
Don't ask that question.
A ball and no strikes to count to Hasler. The throw to first. Now again, Bergeron has a lot of experience. Was at CSUN under Charlotte Morgan and has coached in college baseball for 25 years under Dave Serrano. one of Kenny Gajewski's best friends. In his first year on the staff, of course, got Vanessa Shippey. 2-0 pitch. Meanwhile, Lopez here still a little wild like she was in the 5th inning. It's fallen behind 3-0 to Hasler. Coach Paul Malone comes out, points to Shannon Sale, her assistant, to say, this is who I want to come in the bullpen and come in relief. As Coach Paul Malone looks like seen enough this time again from Lopez. The question is, who does she call in this time? And it looks like she's going to call her senior. We'll tell you more about Caitlin Felton and the night's pitching change here at a rather emotional, interesting. Welcome back here at the top of the 6th. Caitlin Felton in relief here for the Knights with 1 out and inheriting a 3-0 count.
I'd like to see Felton getting the ball here. Obviously, the experience, the composure, maturity, and the effectiveness that she has had in her senior season has spoken for itself, I think, time and time again with a lot of the honors and awards that she's been namely given in this last campaign that she's got. No surprise to see her getting the ball, Eric. She's been dominant so far.
Was pitched on guts and heart last night. Didn't get help from her defense, but got the win last night with the distance. I think Coach Malone was trying to buy some outs here but had no choice but to call her number. And she inherits a 3-0 count, and it's a strike there to Hasler, 3-1. To clear up, by the way, the delay in the start of this inning was indeed about Kenny Gajewski and whether he was allowed to stay in right field or did he have to leave the premise completely. He has left the premise. I would assume he's on the team bus. The 3-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2.
So really the important piece there, Eric, is if we're going to count the outfield as part of the premise, we should also count the outfield as seats or attendance to the game as well. Hey,
I agree with you, Alex. Great point.
Just saying.
The payoff pitch. Foul back. It is interesting because in years past, obviously there's been coaches that have been ejected in this field, but in the past, right field was not as open as it is now. The outfield is not as open. This has only been 3 or 4 years old that it's been open. In years past, it would be covered up. So you could, in theory, hang out in the outfield a few years ago. Not the case now. 3-2. Hasler hits a high fly ball. Deep center field. That ball is gone. It's a 2-run homer for Amanda Hasler, and Oklahoma State takes a 2-1 lead on a 2-run homer by Hasler.
Amanda Hasler takes this pitch and just demolishes it. Talk about opportunity. Talk about the emotions high in this at-bat. That's a big one right now, and her Cowgirl lineup is all around her celebrating at home plate. They know that was a big swing. Timely moment as well.
Big home run for Hasler, the transfer from NC State. Perhaps the biggest home run of her Cowgirl career to this point for the junior. Gives them a 2-1 lead. And the first pitch to Godwin is a strike, and it's 0-1 the count to Hasler. That is also the first hit for Oklahoma State in this game, and they made it count. That's fouled off, and it's 0-2. So it is a 2-1 lead for Oklahoma State here at the top of the 6th with all that. The 0-2 pitch. Godwin fouls it off behind us. And the count is 0-2. Big clutch hit for Hasler. The 0-2 from Felton. That's in the dirt for a ball. 1-2 the count. to Godwin. Hasler with her 11th home run of the year. 23rd, 24th RBI of the year. One and two the count. Swing and a miss, and Felton gets the strikeout for the first out here in the sixth. So one gone here in the sixth inning. And again, Felton in relief, and as I mentioned, Knight's not at full strength in the pitching staff today. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be seeing Felton necessarily after throwing last night. But then again, this has been Felton's role all year, pitching in high leverage situations like this. But you got to give credit to Hasler with the big hit. So, you got work at the plate now. And the first pitch is fouled off, and it's 0-1 the count to Michaela Ward. So 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors for Oklahoma State. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for UCF. And a game that's had a little bit of everything. So Felton now trying to settle in. And the 0-1 pitch up high for a ball. A 1-1 count. One pitch for Felton. Count has missed 2-1. So Oklahoma State, this is again the rubber game. They won game 1 Thursday night, 7-0, scoring 7 runs in the 7th inning. Knights win last night, 12-6. 2-1. That ball is hit to left. Samantha Ray under it makes the catch at left for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone.
Good response from Felton ever since big swing by Hasler. Probably wishes she could take that pitch back, but the game's about adjustments and continuing to fight given the situation, no matter what it is. Just got to keep adapting and working with it. But Eric, I could have guessed and bet a lot of money that this game was not going to end as a 1-0 ball game, and so I thought it was going to take more than 1 the whole time, but it was just going to be a matter of, was UCF going to tack on to the lead, or was Oklahoma State going to get that opportunity?
You get the answer now.
Oh yeah, for right now.
Half hoot now at the plate. Remember, she pinch ran and stayed in the game. Getting a hit here with a count 1-1. She was not the player involved in the disagreement whether they were entered properly or not. That was Macy Graff. Apparently he was the player in question. They got Kenny Gajewski ejected. Do you think Kenny Gajewski's watching our broadcast right now? Should we say hello?
I would hope he's watching the game.
He's got to be feeling better now after the Hasler home run. I always did wonder what coaches do when they get ejected. I mean,